Hello. The following season of Horrible Horrors will review films by request. Just because they were reviewed on this show does not necessarily mean that Horrible Horrors or Zach Romero feels that the films are bad. They were merely requested to be taken down a peg in a comedic styling. Except for Order of the Phoenix, that film can fuck itself.
You know the day destroys the night, the night divides the day. Try to run, try to hide, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side, yeah. Break on through to the other side.
I wanted to take a minute to do a request from a very good friend of mine.
Now, I've known Derek Wayne for over 5 years, and in that time, he has shown me the ways of movie snobbery. He eats, breathes, and lives film, and has shown me over 200 movies, and has widened my horizons in regards to cinematic tastes.
And despite my better judgment, I'm going to take some time to pick apart a movie that I didn't really care for, but I know a lot of people did. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with Order of the Phoenix, it is the 5th Harry Potter film in the series.
It was released in 2007, and is the first film in the series to have David Yates at the helm. It's also his second full-length film ever. Like, ever. Well, I feel like we're in safe hands already.
And my first problem with it comes from the very first scene of the movie. We're shown Harry living in the real world, not the magical world. And for 4 movies now, we've been treated to the lush, beautiful landscapes of England. And then suddenly, in this one, he's living at the exact same address, but apparently an atomic bomb has gone off because there's nothing left here but just dry, dead grass and sadness. I'm not really sure exactly where in England this is. Climate tends to be wet and rainy. Apparently, somehow, England went from this to this. Number 2 comes with a design change. In the Prisoner of Azkaban, a previous Harry Potter film, the Dementors pretty much look like Grim Reapers running around, and they're terrifying. In this one, for some reason, they decided to change them into zombies with buttholes for mouths.
So obviously, with this being a new year for Harry, we're introduced to a few new characters, one of which is this little foxy number over here. Hello? No? What? We're just moving away? We're not gonna even say hello? Okay. Alright, movie, that's fine.
What the hell is this? Seriously, what the hell is this?
So something that's interesting about this film is that we get to see more of the boring-ass adult world of magic. Things like the Ministry, no, not that one. As well as, the bureaucracy of magic in this little universe. We get to see the greater scale of this world beyond the walls of Hogwarts. We also get to meet this bitch. This motherfucker right here in her pink.
I need something explained to me. What is the role of Captain Mufasa here? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? He keeps going back and forth with no explanation. That's not good storytelling.
You may not like him, Minister, but you can't deny Dumbledore's got style.
Oh look, it's my favorite characters, Cutie the Witch and Google Eye Magoo. Do we get to learn about them now? No? Let's follow this dog? Okay, we'll just follow the dog then. Who can honestly complain about more Gary Oldman in your film, though? So it's a fair trade-off. Hey, not for nothing, by the way, I think Sirius Black could be my favorite character in this series. He goes from being a goddamn wild animal in the previous film to being a new father figure for Harry, and it's just a charming-ass bastard. I love him. So, bitchy Mom Jeans here is the new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, but decides instead that they're gonna learn spells to make kittens in easy-bake ovens now.
Oh, Harry Potter.
And we've reached logical fallacies in the movie, round 1. Take a listen to this next little clip.
What are they?
They're called Pestrels. They're quite gentle, really, but people avoid them because they're a bit
different. But why can't the others see them?
They can only be seen by people who've seen death.
Okay, so the movie has established that the only way to see these nightmare horses is to have been close to someone who has died. Got that? Great. Now, later in the film, this happens.
So how are we going to get to London?
We fly, of course.
How are the rest of the gang flying them? Like, are they just like on an invisible thing? Like, I don't know how this is working, but we're gonna get to London. Like, what did the movie just decide? Like, oh well, we couldn't have them, you know, be on a jet, so we'll just have to deal with the nightmare horses.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best performance in this whole damn series, Alan Rickman.
Snape.
No idea.
As you may notice, what this all comes down to is rushed storytelling. If David Yates and company had taken their time to tell a good story, I would have no problems with this film. But it was like the whole crew was on coke and they needed to get this thing done yesterday. But, for instance, the rise and fall of Harry's relationship with this Cho girl is he really likes her, they make out, she turns on everybody, Harry hates her, and then you find out that it wasn't even her fault that she gave away information. But does that change the opinion of Harry? No, she's dead to him now, let's not talk about it. The logical fallacy, round 2. Sirius tells the gang that powers that be at the Ministry of Magic have come up with this theory that Dumbledore's assembling an army, and it's absolutely ridiculous, and we all have a good laugh. Then the gang decides that they should make a Dumbledore army. That sounds like a really good idea. And then, of course, they get caught and Dumbledore gets in trouble. What was the point of making the army when we all agreed it was a silly concept? Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Sometimes in order to tell a great story, somebody has to die. As barbaric as that sounds, it makes for something interesting. It gets the attention of the viewer. It creates an emotional connection. And so, in this film, spoiler alert, they kill off Sirius Black. Like this. Yep. Arguably the coolest and most well thought out character in this franchise is killed by a fart and a vanish. Let's go over that again. So, Sirius and Harry are being awesome together, dynamic duo, fighting evil. I'm Tim Burton's wife! Blech! Ba-dink! What the? Did something just bite me? And like that, he's gone from the series. Way to go, David Yates. Way to really rush that. And then finally the ending is nothing. It's just, hey, go team, can't wait for the next movie, and that's it. So, all in all, it's just not that great. However, can't admit there were some moments that I really enjoyed.
Albus Percival Wulfric
Brian Dumbledore.
That's the greatest character name I have ever heard in my entire life. Oh, what's my name? Aldous Maximus Unicron Gorilla Press Slam Timothy Dumbledore. Anytime Snape slaps the hell out of Ron, I'm really, really happy. Harry's dad being a dick to Snape. And extra sweaty Edward.
You see, the biggest issue stems from one particular apologetic defense of this film. The movie makes more sense if you read the book. Yeah, that tends to be the case with most film adaptations. The difference here is that the film is crippled without reading the book. There are huge chunks cut out, developed characters that are pretty much just one-line dialogue cutouts, gaps in the storytelling. It's jarring. Now, hey, it's understandable that if a film version of a story is running long, then certain sacrifices have to be made, but that's just it. Order of the Phoenix is the shortest of all of the films. They cut out more than they needed to. They cut so much out that they had to cram extra parts into the next few movies to explain shit that was supposed to be explained in this goddamn thing.
This is supposed to be able to replace it, to create a visual form of the writing, and it fails at that. So, I apologize if I have offended any Harry Potter fans.